please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
On the show today, Rohit tests the new Audi RS5 Coupe. Abhay test rides the Triumph Bonneville Speedmaster as well as the newly launched electric scooter from Aether Energy in Bengaluru. Hi, welcome to Overdrive. You're watching the show with me, Sohini Datta. Now, with the popularity of luxury cars in the Indian car market, the premium car manufacturers are betting big on performance cars of various shapes as well as sizes. Now, the Audi RS5 is the latest to join this bandwagon and we got our hands on it. Take a look.
It's 38 degrees here on top of a hill station. The hill station? Lonavala, a very famous tourist destination between Mumbai and Pune. But beyond all those busy touristy spots are deserted, fast, winding roads. The perfect setting for a fast car. And it's safe to say that the car I have with me here today is actually hotter than the weather around. Say hello to the red-hot Audi RS5. In the arid landscape that is typical to this region in the dry season, the shiny red RS5 stands out remarkably, despite its subtle looks. Compared to the Audi S5 Coupe that it builds on, the RS5 gets the usual paraphernalia of a sportier variant. Larger air dams, wider grille, a chin spoiler up front, and a prominent body kit including side skirts and air diffusers, and also large wheels and brakes. The RS5 has these little grooves on the outer edges of the headlamps and the tail lamps, which I believe are present for improving the aerodynamic performance. However, I think these are more form over function. The Audi RS5 also comes with an edgier surfacing for the apron, and the haunches are more muscular with accentuated wheel arches that acknowledge the boxy but iconic yesteryear quattro cars. Interestingly, the Audi RS5's wheel arches are 19mm broader than the base A5. The bezels for the grille, the sleek chin and lip spoilers, and the chunky diffuser are all done up in glossy black and create a stunning contrast with the shiny red body color. I guess I just have a thing for fast cars or fast bikes that are done up in red and black, and probably that's the reason why this particular RS5 appeals to me so much. The RS5 logos are in all the usual places on this Audi, like the grille and the tailgate, and also in some unusual places like the fuel filler cap. If your fuel attendant notices that and recommends you higher octane fuel, tip him well. You'll find more of these badges on the flat bottom steering wheel, the fully digital instrumentation, and the leather on the sports seats. It's a gentle reminder that Quattro GmbH, which used to be the performance arm at Audi, is now Audi Sport GmbH. It's headed by the flamboyant Steven Winkelmann, and you'll be happy or unhappy to know that this car isn't even remotely manic like the cars that he greenlighted when he was heading Lamborghini. The RS5 is typical Audi, razor sharp in its design, impeccable in its workmanship, and precise when it comes to handling around the bends. The cabin does look a bit too S5 in my opinion, and I would have liked better headroom or a lower edge point in the driver's seat for easier ingress and egress, making it more suitable for an everyday sports car. The rear seat is a bit roomier in comparison to the outgoing first generation RS5, but it's still good enough only for kids or teenagers. The rear seat occupants do get cubby holes on either sides of the rear bench to keep their knickknacks. And chances are, whatever they put in there will stay in there because this car isn't as tail-waggy as its natural rivals, the BMW M4 and the Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG. That precision and the rear-end grip of the Audi RS5 is thanks to the Quattro performance all-wheel drive setup, which ensures maximum grip with its ability to transfer 75% of the power to the rear wheels. The Quattro drivetrain gets its fodder from a new 2.9-litre V6 petrol engine that replaces the grunty 4.2-litre V8 of its predecessor. Despite the downsizing, the engine still churns out an identical 450 PS of power. But the torque, it's gone up by 170 Newton meters to reach a magical figure of 600 Newton meters. And that comes courtesy of a bi-turbo configuration, where both the turbochargers are placed within the V arrangement of the engine. 0 to 100, claims Audi, comes in 3.9 seconds, which is 0.6 seconds faster than the outgoing RS5. Marrying the new engine to the Quattro system is a finely tuned 8-speed Tiptronic gearbox, which is ultra smooth in its operation and very responsive to changing throttle inputs. Handy power and torque gauges in the instrumentation further highlight the prowess of this drivetrain. You know what? Cruising at about 100 km an hour in overdrive shows that it requires only about 19% of power and 27% of torque, and it needs between 45 to 55% of power and torque when the cruising speeds start hovering around the 200 km an hour mark. Such torque, much amaze. The Audi RS5 can hit a top speed of up to 280 km an hour, and going by how nicely it puts power down onto the road and thrusts your head into the seat, I don't think it will take too long to reach the car's maximum speed. But the new RS5 has lost about 60 kilos, out of which about 30 kilo savings come from the engine alone. The front end is therefore lighter than before and makes for sharper turn-ins and reduced understeer. An electronic differential further reduces the understeery nature of the Quattro system, making the Audi RS5 a fast track tool and a brilliant corner cover. If I had to go nitpicking, I would have wished for a more communicative steering. This one feels a little over-assisted. Of course, it does weigh up in dynamic mode, but it feels a little bit artificial. Along with the sharper gearbox and engine responses, the dynamic mode also unlocks the full-blown sound of the V6 engine that fills up the cabin with a thrum at lower speeds, and higher engine RPMs resonates into a throaty roar with crackles and pops that are typical to German sports cars. I think the Audi RS5 is right up there with the BMW M4 and the Mercedes-Benz E63 AMG as far as the performance is concerned. It's also priced quite competitively. But I think for the consumers, where it will finally boil down to is which one crunches the faster lap times and which one is more involving to drive, more fun to drive. That, I think, is a story for another day. Right now, it's the open road, the fast car. Hell of a fun time to be had.
Triumph's Bonneville family of classic motorcycles finally includes a cruiser, and it is called the Speedmaster. Now, the motorcycle is already launched in India, and Abhay was extremely impressed with it when he rode it in the US. But now he's got a chance to ride it in India, and here's what he thinks about the motorcycle.
My first rendezvous with the Bonneville Speedmaster was in the USA, on the open freeways and in the hills around San Diego in California. Well, the bike did impress me with its performance, ride, the handling and the comfort it offers. And the Speedmaster is here. Now in India, it's been launched at about 11 lakh rupees ex-showroom, and at the price it does sound like an interesting proposition. But India is far from being a cruiser-friendly country like the USA is, which is ironic to the fact that cruisers are immensely popular in our country. So how does the Speedmaster fare on our roads? Let's find out. With its classic looks, the Bonneville Speedmaster looks as impressive as ever, particularly thanks to its gloss black paint and the generous helpings of chrome all around. The all-LED headlight adds a little dash of modernness, while the fat front tyre with its twin disc setup makes for a muscular-looking front end. Triumph has hidden the Speedmaster's monoshock neatly under the seat, which gives the bike a hardtail look. Our test bike came equipped with an optional highway touring kit, which adds to the bike's design further. The kit includes a touring screen, engine crash guards and waxed cotton panniers, along with a plusher, more comfortable seat and a pillion backrest that also integrates a luggage rack. The kit costs an additional 1.23 lakh rupees, and if you like riding distances, the highway kit should make for a worthy investment. The 1200cc parallel twin engine feels as impressive as ever in terms of the refinement and performance both. and while it may not be a V-twin, the Speedmaster does sound impressive for a cruiser, be it at idling or when cruising on open highways. The parallel twin engine's calm nature, coupled with the Speedmaster's laid-back stance, might have you think its performance is also laid back. But despite its near 260 kg curb weight, the Speedmaster is quick and managed a 0 to 100 time of just 5.2 seconds in our acceleration tests. Lots of torque at low revs, coupled with the 6-speed transmission's adequate ratios, mean making rapid progress even in traffic is easy without the need to change gears very often. The Speedmaster also comes equipped with a torque assist clutch, so clutch action at the lever is light, while gear changes are slick and precise, and clutchless upshifts are not an issue either. I remember the Speedmaster's suspension feeling firm in the USA, and the India spec bike, it gets the exact same setup. But despite that firmness, bump absorption abilities are impressive, though some of the impacts are transferred to the rider over larger potholes due to the suspension's limited travel. But the very setup helps in making the Speedmaster an able handler, as it feels responsive when it comes to making quick directional changes or leaning into corners. Bonnevilles have always been known to handle well, and the Speedmaster does not disappoint. Being a traditional cruiser, its cornering abilities are limited by its low ground clearance though, and grounding the pegs around corners is extremely easy. In fact, there are times when the chassis and suspension urge you to go faster around corners, but the low set foot pegs force you to slow down. Cruisers are meant to be calm and friendly motorcycles that allow riders to enjoy their time in the saddle while having the performance that helps them cover distances quickly. The Speedmaster here ticks many such boxes, including those of comfort and confident handling, while looking exactly the way a traditional cruiser should. That said, as the package justifies its price tag of ₹11 lakh ex-showroom, and I can confirm that the Bonneville Speedmaster is an interesting addition to the list of cruisers on sale in India.
Well, time then for us to shift gears and check out what's the latest in news. Starting off, of course, with M&M, we've found out that testing has begun of the new compact SUV, which is being called the S201. It will be going up against the likes of the Ford EcoSport as well as the Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza. Moving on to two-wheeler news, BMW Motorrad India has initiated the bookings of two of its motorcycles, the BMW G310R as well as the BMW G310 GS. And we've also got news that they might be pricing the motorcycles at 3.5 lakh as well as 4 lakh ex-showroom in India. Moving on, we have also heard news that Bajaj Auto might be foraying into the electric scooter space by 2020. And continuing on that theme, we do have an electric scooter that was launched earlier this week. Take a look. After a long wait, Aether Energy has launched its smart electric scooters 340 and 450 in Bengaluru earlier this week at a price of 1.2 lakh rupees for the 340 and 1.24 lakh rupees on road Bengaluru for the 450 scooter. The 340 will provide a riding range of 60 kilometers, while the 450 offers a wider range of 75 kilometers. The pricing includes a host of features that will ensure hassle-free ownership experience that will be better than owning a conventional scooter. Prices for both scooters are introductory and includes a home charging point or a dedicated charging station for the 450 along with standard installation and a charging cable as well. Pricing for the 340 does not include a home charging point. Pricing for both scooters includes a free 1-year subscription, which if purchased separately costs ₹9,912 for a year or ₹2,596 for a quarter. Aether says effectively servicing and maintenance of the scooters is free, as you won't need to pay labor charges or for consumables like brake pads and the like. Data services like navigation, diagnostics and updates are included in the subscription plan as well, along with roadside assistance. Now, whenever we talk about EVs, everybody only seems to be talking about cars, and two-wheelers take a back seat. Not anymore, because Bengaluru-based Aether Energy has just launched an electric scooter that promises to change the way you look at electric scooters. I will tell you more about it.
Whenever you think electric scooters, what comes to mind first is slow, boring, not fun to ride. Is that going to change? Well, Aether Energy, a Bangalore-based company who are launching their first two-wheeler, a smart electric scooter, say things are about to change forever. as far as electric scooters are concerned. When I say smart electric, I mean something that is smart with lots of technology, features and fun to ride as well. This is the 450 that is launching in India. Let's take a ride and see how it feels. In terms of the design, this is a highly futuristic looking scooter and looks unlike any other scooter on sale in India. In fact, Aether has tried to make it as compact as possible without compromising on spaciousness or comfort. The 450 looks straight out of the next Star Wars sequel with its sleek design, the apron-mounted all-LED headlights and the carefully selected shade of white. Body panels have been designed to make it look sleek, but despite its compact dimensions, the 450 felt accommodating even for my near 6-foot frame. The side stand sits flush with the floorboard, while pillion footrests are integrated into the bodywork in a way that the pillion's feet won't brush against the rider's legs even when he puts his feet down at standstill. The instrument cluster is a 7-inch touchscreen and looks crisp and is sure to be a game changer with its design and appearance. What's more, Aether also claims underseat storage is among the highest for a scooter, and the 450 will hold most full-face helmets too. The rear looks as futuristic thanks to the design of the stoplight and turn indicators both. The battery pack has been integrated into the floorboard well, and in fact, if you were to not notice the absence of an engine and exhaust, you cannot really tell that the Aether 450 is an electric scooter. The Aether 450 is powered by a single-cylinder petrol engine. No, I'm just joking. It's an electric scooter. It's powered by an electric motor that offers up to 5.4 kilowatts of power in the 450 here and up to 4.4 kilowatts of power in the 340. That's the lower spec version, which looks exactly identical to this. In terms of the output and the acceleration, the Aether 450 is a lot quicker than any petrol engine scooter on sale in India. Claimed 0 to 40 time is 3.9 seconds only, and the top speed claimed is 80 kilometers per hour. Well, that's not just it, because in terms of torque output, this scooter beats any scooter in India hands down. It offers 20.5 Newton meters of torque, which is in fact higher than most 150cc bikes in the country. The Aether 450 will make you think again if you thought electric scooters can only be slow and boring. One of the biggest advantages of an electric motor over conventional engines is that the motor offers peak torque right from the word go. This means the Aether 450 will be quicker than any scooter on sale in India by a significant margin. Aether has also employed a final belt drive to ensure wear and tear and power losses are minimal, and I am convinced the 450 will make quite a few jaws drop with its acceleration. Brushless, direct current motor builds power in a linear fashion, and the 450 had little trouble getting past 60 km per hour and continuing to accelerate well beyond at every given opportunity. More importantly, Aether is claiming a real-world range of 75 km for the 450 in eco mode, while the certified range as per the Indian driving cycle is an impressive 107 km. Given its curb weight of 118 kilos, the Aether 450 is slightly heavier than most scooters but feels sporty in terms of handling thanks to its smartly engineered aluminum chassis. The 450 is suspended on telescopic forks and a monoshock and runs on 12-inch wheels shod with MRF tires, and dynamics are impressive. It feels light on its feet when it comes to changing direction quickly, and its nifty acceleration coupled with the scooter's confident handling make it very impressive in traffic. The suspension setup is on the firmer side, and you do feel the odd bump or pothole at slow speeds, but the experience improves as speeds go up. The Aether 450 also comes equipped with disc brakes at both ends, and feel and feedback from the brakes is good. So what's the coolest feature on the Aether 450? It's got reverse mode! Engaging reverse mode is easy, as you simply need to press the rear brake, turn indicator switch and the start button together, and this is a feature that is sure to help when maneuvering out of tight spots. The instrument cluster is in fact a waterproof tablet that uses a SIM card and is constantly connected to the internet to offer onboard navigation directly without the need to sync to your smartphone. Of course, there is a dedicated app as well, which allows you to sync your phone and access information about the scooter, including charge status and the like. The scooter also studies your individual riding style over a period of time, including the way you open the throttle and lean into corners using an IMU, and tailors your experience accordingly. Aether Energy is also coming up with its own charging infrastructure called as Aether Grid. As part of that, they will be putting up charging stations like these at various locations in cities across the country, starting with Bangalore of course. This is a quick charger, and the 450 here that I've been riding for a while needs some charge. And if I put it to charge here, this means I will get about 1 kilometer per minute in terms of the charging. So if I spend 30 minutes here, that's 30 kilometers of charge. It's been some time since I put this scooter for charge here, and I think it now has enough juice for me to go out for another ride. And another ride is something I really want to go for because I'm extremely impressed with what the Aether 450 is in terms of its acceleration, the handling, the feature list, everything. This is a great way to move forward towards electrification because the future is electric.
Well, there you go. We've run out of time on this week's episode of Overdrive. But remember, we would like to hear from you. So stay in touch with the team through Facebook, through Twitter. And you can also follow our latest videos on our YouTube channel. You can leave in a comment there as well. We'll see you next week. Until then, goodbye and many thanks for watching.